Well, as we get closer and closer, not only to Christmas, but also the end of 2022, we're going to be reviewing what's left of pro wrestling for this year. But we're going to be reviewing first things first, day 4 of Stardom with year round tour in Tochigo. No, hold on. Tochigi, which is the hometown of the Hanan sisters, Hanan, Rina, and Hina. And of course, as we speak right now, there is the Stardom that's taking place, which is December 23, and over there's on December 24th. So we'll be doing that one when the day comes. But we're also going to be reviewing day 2 of Road to Tokyo Dome by New Japan Pro Wrestling, which the main event features the last time we'll ever see Suzuki-gun together. We're talking about Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, Taka Michinoku, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Kanemaru, Despi, and Doiki. This is going to be a sad moment for everybody. But also we got AEW Rampage with the $300,000 um, battle royal trios, whatever they call it. And also we got Jade Cargill in action. And of course our main event features um, Anthony Bowens and Daddy Ass taking on Jeff Jarrett and what's his name? Oh yeah, and Jay Lethal. Then we're gonna find out who levels up on this episode of Level Up, and we got just a small number of updates on our news updates that we're definitely gonna be talking about. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So let's begin with Stardom with day 4 of the year end tour. Their stop will be in Tochigi Kanuma City, which is the home of the Hanan sisters. We're talking about Hanan, Rina, and Hina. So they're going to be part of the main event, which is cool. We'll get to that in a bit. Now our opening match is a three-way match. We have Saki Kashima versus Lady C versus Saya Ida. Now I thought this match was pretty interesting, but however, I thought in the back of my head, since Kashima is known to pull off a really decisive win with the Kishikase, but no, not this time. It was Saya Ida with the modified Dragon Sleeper onto Lady C that gave her the W. Now, our next match, we have members of Stars consistent of Momo and Koguma versus him, Maika and Himeka from DDM, and then finally O2 Line, Miyu Amasaki, and Azumi of Queen's Quest. So we have a three-way tag team match. However, apparently Amasaki finally gets a little taste of the Koguma bear. So basically, that's what happened. But keep in mind, this is what normally people know about Koguma. And this is the mistake that Himeka and Maika did. They tried to isolate her away from the ring, but it gave the advantage for Queen's Quest, most specifically Azumi, to put Momokogo in the Azumi Sushi, giving them the win. So basically, you can say this is all Maika and Himeka's fault for allowing this match to end in a very decisive way. Now, our next match we have, of course, BMI 2000, consisting of Ruka and Natsuko Tora of Odo Tai, taking on Mel Tears, Natsupoi, and um, Tam Nakano, our current Goddesses Tag Champions. Now, earlier, if you guys seen the entrance of Meltier, you know they take too long to get in just to do a little showing. However, Natsuko Tora was like in the middle of the ring, like, it's taking forever. Like she's not here to see them dance. She's here to the fight. So basically, that's what she's been doing. But however, they've been trying to brutalize them as much as possible. But however, the ref called it a disqualification due to the fact they used that metal pipe that Natsuko always brings, giving the win to Natsupoi and Tam. Next match, we have DDM, Masakurai, Tekla, and Julia taking on God's Eye, Mirai, Ami Suri, and Suri. Now, keep in mind, not only the storyline in this match tells about Julia and Suri, Masakurai challenge Ami Suri for the future belt. Now, you know for a fact that's what Masakurai wants, but that also led to other things. But in this case, Mirai was the one who ended this whole thing by applying a big lariat onto Sakurai, giving God's Eye the win. Now, our main event is a three-way 9-person tag match. We have team number one consistent of Oda Tai with Rina, Starlight Kid, and Momo Watanabe versus Stars Hanan, Azuki, and Mayu Iwatani versus Queen's Quest Hina, Utami Ayashida, and Saya Kamitani. Now, this is most important because all three sisters are leading their teams. Hina is leading Queen's Quest, Hanan leading Stars, and Rina Orota. But however, we always seen how good they are. As you know, they have a background in judo. That says a lot about them. But there were moments we only see those three in this particular match. But however, it was Rina with the Gori Bomb that put away Hina and became the winner and won in her hometown. This is her first time winning. She even claims that she is the most hard worker out of all three sisters. I mean, Hanan has been a very impressive champion. So we'll see about that with Rina. So Odatai wins the match, and that's pretty much it. They win the main event. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's move on with New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to Tokyo Dome. Okay, Day 2 of New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to Tokyo is also dubbed the last night we see Suzuki-gun. Now, it opened up with um, Yuto Nakashima teaming up with Master Heater Yato to take on House of Torture Show and Yujiro Takahashi. Now, this was a very unusual match, not because of the way it went, like it ended, more like how we know the dynamics with the House of Torture. They always come out the cheat in every aspect. Not this time. Basically, it was a straight up match, but Yujiro picked up a good win by applying the pimp juice onto Nakashima. So that was a very good win. Now, it does prove that they don't need to cheat, but that's how it is. Now, our next match, we got the Young Lions, Tosa Fujita, and Rohei Oiwa taking on Chaos members Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Now, you know this is going to be a very difficult challenge. We know Ishii, he is one tough SOB. That's always been his game. However, I have to say that the Young Lions did put up a good fight, but like always, this ends with one particular move, the Boston Crab. It was Ishii with it onto Fujita, and Fujita had no other choice but to tap. Next match, we have a very interesting matchup. We have Tiger Mask, Tomoaki Hamna, Togi Makabe, and Ren Narita taking on the United Empires, Francesco Akira, Aaron Henare, Great Khan, and Jeff Cobb. Now, this is a very interesting team. However, it was a very strong one. You probably would have thought, in a way, United Empire will walk out. Yes, all thanks to the fireball Akira onto Tiger Mask to give the win. However, they seem like they have a problem with Narita because Ren Narita is in the finals to become the first ever IWGP World Television Champion. That's a title I know for a fact they wanted, but they did not end it. Now, our next match, we got the other members of House of Torture, Dick, Togo, and Evil taking on LIJ's Hiromu and Shingo. Now, this is a hard hitting match, and you know how it is. However, Evil would do anything to win, but not this time. But it was Dick Togo who ended up on the wrong side of the pumping, running bomber, and boom! It took his head off. So basically, just like that. I enjoyed every moment of that. Next match, we got our current GHC Tag Team Champion, Satoshi Kojima, coming back from his little expedition with Pro Wrestling Noah, teaming up with former member of the NWA Japan teammate, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and they take on against our winners of World Tag League, Bushiman. You know this match is going to be killer because Bushiman are right now at the top of their game, building up momentum before Wrestle Kingdom, before they face FTR. And I think this match is going to be pretty well done. But unfortunately, Tenzan ended up on the wrong side of Shoto, but it was Hiroki Goto who picked up the victory by pinning him. Now, our next match, we got Shota Umino Shooter teaming up with Taguchi and Tanahashi to take on the members of LIJ, Bushi, Sanada, and Tetsuya Naito. I thought this match was really fun, but for some odd reason, it seems like Shota is obsessed with Naito for some reason. I don't know if he wants to have another crack at him or something like that. I don't know if before he left he wanted a match with them. Who knows? But it was Destino by Naito onto Taguchi that allowed them to win the match. Now, our next match, we have Master Wato teaming up with members of Chaos, Yo and Kaguchika Okada taking on the Bullet Clubs, Taiji Ishimori, El Phantasmo, and Geto. I thought this match was pretty interesting because, we do have two wrestlers that will be involved in that four-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Junior Heavyweight Championship, which is Taiji Shimori and Master Wato. But however, the match ended with a perfect win by Yo when he applied the direct drive onto Geto, giving them the win. However, post-match, Yo was brutally attacked by Francesco Akira, one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. As you know, Akira sending a direct message telling him that they're not going to walk out as the champions. They're going to remain champions forever. But we'll see what happens. We have seen how Yo and Leo Rush have worked together through their tournament. So we'll see if that changes. Now, our main event is the Suzuki-gun Showdown. We have team number 1, Doiki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Taichi, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Taka Michinoku, El Desperado, Lance Archer, and Minoru Suzuki. I thought this match was unbelievably good, but also the moments you get to see how this ends, I feel that they went out with a bang, knowing this is their last night, and I think it did. But it was Zack Driver who Zack Sabre Jr. to put Minoru Suzuki into Zack Driver and tells him, "Thank you, Suzuki," and boom. But their promo was amazing. They talked about their timing there and all this. Very emotional. And, I think the one person who felt more emotional other than Suzuki was Taichi. If you guys remember, Taichi and Taka, along with Minoru, they were the 3 founders of Suzuki-gun. And not only that, this is not only the end of Suzuki-gun, it's also the end of Dangerous Tekkers. And I think that's what sets the whole thing about. I think that, but however, this does not end like that. It ends when Iska, who we haven't seen since he retired, showed up. So it's great to see him, another member of Suzuki-gun coming back. So the monster just showed up. So I think that's pretty much it with New Japan. Let's move on with AEW Rampage. Okay, AEW Rampage started out with the $300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royale. So many teams in trios come out. We already have the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, Facción Ingobernable, consistent of Dralistico, Rush, and formerly 10. Who else? The Butcher and the Blade and Kip Sabian. And then we have wrestlers like the Dark Order, Dante Fox, Ari Fox, and Top Flight, members of the Blackpool Combat Club, that Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and John Moxley. So we had various wrestlers. However, you can tell by the look of Dark Order want to get their hands on 10. But I think the best moments I liked is Rush looking at Claudio. The reason is this: Claudio is a two-time Ring of Honor World Champion. So is Rush. So you can tell that this is what fans would want to see: two, a current champion and a former champion facing off one another. But that's how it works out. But however, things did not fell well for the Blackpool Combat Club. Hangman Page shows up and attacks John Moxley. Uh, Moxley got eliminated, so it went on to 2-on-1. I mean, Claudio did hang in there until Dante Martin and AR Fox won the match. I wouldn't be surprised because if they won this match, Menard and Parker would be pissed knowing that they felt they should have been involved in this. But the problem is, who's going to be the third partner? Now, as you know, recently Eddie Kingston and Ortiz has a message for the Black House of Black. However, once again, House of Black being a bit cryptic, saying something that there's a friend of his that is now his ally, who's now his enemy. So what is that supposed to mean? I don't know if Kingston is suspicious of Ortiz, or Malachi's playing games, or does he know someone who would try to hurt him? I don't know. We'll find out. Now, Renee Paquette does an interview with Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. Basically, what's going on is it appears you can tell they can't see eye to eye, but however, Daniel Garcia has no other choice but to follow Sammy Guevara's lead. But there was one thing he wasn't going to do: give him a hug. That's practically what he did not want to do, but it did happen. I don't know. So, now, our next match: Jade Cargill along with the baddies taking on Vert Vixen. You probably can guess that this match was going to fall in favor of Jade. I think this is 43-0. I'm not sure, or 45-0. I don't know, one of the two. But you know the baddies got involved. So the obvious question does remain with Jade Cargill: who will be the one to dethrone her? Hopefully, we have the right person that can do it. So we'll see. But it did not end it with the Jade like we normally would. And then with a pump kick, and boom, just like that. Now, Ruby Soho, as you know, she thought that she was done with this whole thing with Ty Mello, but no, Anna Jay decided to take this personal. So it appears that Ruby found a partner of her own, and this one is a very unusual team, and this is, of course, Willow Nightingale. So we'll see how that goes. Now, Powerhouse Hobbs once again is back with a new chapter. We don't know what's the deal, but we'll see when we get there. Now, our main event is Jay Lethal along with Jeff Jarrett taking on Anthony Bowes and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn. Max Caster was not cleared to wrestle due to what happened a week ago. This match was pretty good. It was very solid. But however, you know there was going to be interference coming from Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. Dutt actually low blowed Billy Gunn to win the match. So you can tell. But when will they have their tag team championship match? Well, we don't know yet. So we'll see when that day is announced. And I think that's pretty much it with AEW Rampage. I believe it's time for NXT Level Up. Okay, who levels up on this episode of NXT Level Up? So let's find out. First match, we have Charlie Dempsey taking on Miles Bourne. Now we have seen Miles Bourne, what an impressive wrestler he is due to the fact of him being deaf. But we know Charlie Dempsey's background. We know he's an incredible technical wrestler. That's what he is. But I think there was a moment that, of course, Miles Bourne used a move that's been well recognized by a famous technical wrestler, and I think Dempsey might have been surprised. But, however, it was a bridge suplex by Charlie Dempsey that helped them win after Miles Bourne did a high jump off the turnbuckle, and blammo, he spots, and that gave the moment for Charlie to apply the bridge suplex. Uno, dos, tres, over. Just like that. Now, Kelly Kincaid interviews Danny Palmer, a new girl coming into NXT Level Up. Her opponent is none other than Sol Ruka, which that match was next. However, as you know, 2 weeks ago, Sol Ruka made the biggest buzz ever. If you guys remember that move that she applied, now we got a name for it. It's called the Soul Snatcher. Take out the U. It's SOL Snatcher. I thought it was an impressive move. And her match with Danny Palmer was also good. But of course, many people were expecting that one move, the Snow Snatcher, that could play out a big factor. It kind of did, and I don't know exactly if according to what we're being told, that was an impressive move. It also caught the attention of Triple H and everybody else. I think people now see Soruka come up with something. I think that's something that many wrestlers need. Come up with a cool move, just like that. So Soruka applied the Snow Snatcher on Danny Palmer, and poof, it's over, just like that. Now our main event is Hank Walker taking on Trick Williams. I thought this match was pretty pound for pound match because you got two bigger individuals. Now you would have thought that Hank Walker could have pulled up a pretty decisive win, but no, it was the trick kick that allowed them to win the match, and just like that, Trick Williams wins the match. So very impressive. So we're just gonna see what happens then. So I think that's pretty much it with NXT Level Up. I believe it's time for news updates. Okay, welcome to our news updates. This just came about on Twitter today for me. I want to give congratulations to Ivy Nile, who recently just got married. And I don't know when was that, but congratulations, Ivy. Hope I don't know if she's going to be on her honeymoon or she's just going to continue kicking ass in NXT, because we know that she and Tane Paxley are working hard to get to the tag team titles contingency. So we'll see what happens then. Now, for our GCW update for the upcoming event on the 7th of January, Save Me in Chicago, a trios match has been signed. We have Thirsty, consistent of Effie, Alley Catch, and Dark Sheik, taking on Mason's Mercenary, which is consistent with that piece of garbage, Charles Mason, and the Psychotic Slade and Paro. Now, Slade was a very interesting name that it was announced because recently, months ago, Slade was supposed to be at a JCW event. Apparently, he got arrested for something, but kind of interesting that it happened now. So that's what I'm putting out. West Coast Pro has announced for a special meet and greet that's going to be taking place on March 4th, and it's none other than Amy Dumas, also known as Lita. So anybody in the Bay Area, if you guys are paying attention to what's been going on, Lita will be at your place for a special meet and greet. So find information, all this. If you guys are from outside of the Bay Area, you probably want to go and see her as soon as possible. Now, our final update, we have Prestige Wrestling. It was announced for the Reality Unfolds event that takes place on the 17th of February of 2023. We have Masha Slamovich versus Lizzie Hall. So I'm kind of excited for that match and all this, but I think that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens then. So let's just call it a day. Well, hope everybody enjoys this episode. I know I have. Coming up, we got Choco Pro taking place on Christmas Eve. And that kind of was interesting. But that doesn't stop there. We know possibly if there's an MWA USA event, continue on with more of the Champion Series. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know about New Japan Strong, but we will just see. I mean, we don't know how this thing will go now during Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I'll just wing it, see how that happens. Now, if I don't put anything new, I apologize, but we'll see what happens then. So, cross your fingers, guys. So, for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.